Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to take a look at the vertical projectile motion question from the November 2025 paper 1. So the scenario is given to us. Basically we have a ball that is thrown upward at some velocity from a building that is 5 meters high. They then give us a table that summarizes the time and the magnitude of the ball at 3 different time intervals during its motion. Let's take a look at question 3.2. 3.2 says, using equations of motions only, calculate the value of P. So 3.2, P is asking us to calculate the time when the magnitude of the velocity is 0. So Vf is equal to 0, Vi is equal to something. So if I look at the table, at time equals 0, the velocity is 15. And since we know that initial velocity is when the time is 0, that means my initial velocity must be 15. Now it's going to be 15 upward because they tell us that the ball is thrown up. We also know that the acceleration is 9,8 meters per second squared in a downward direction. Now, since the question is asking us to calculate the time, which is being used as the letter P, we have enough quantities to work out P. We can use the formula Vf is equal to Vi plus A times delta t. The final velocity is 0, that's from the table. The initial velocity is 15, that's when we get the time is 0. And then plus, now for the acceleration value, I need to choose a direction as positive. Since I have used positive 15 for Vi, it means that I'm choosing up as positive. It's always good to show it. That means the acceleration will be minus 9,8 multiplied by delta t. Now we solve for delta t, and delta t is going to be 1,53 seconds. So since we know that delta t is p, we can say that p is equal to 1,53 seconds. Now moving on to question 3.3. They tell us the ball strikes the ground 3.36 seconds after it was thrown upward. So calculate Q. So Q is the magnitude of the velocity when the time is 3,36. So we know the time this time. It's t is equal to 3,36. We don't know the Vf. The Vf is the letter Q. Vi is still going to be 15 upward, and the acceleration is going to be 9,8 down. Now we want to calculate Vf, so we can use the same formula we used in question 3.2. So Vf is equal to Vi plus A delta t. Now Vf is Q, so Q is equal to, I'm choosing up as positive, so Vi will be positive 15 plus minus 9,8, and the time is 3,36. That means Q is equal to negative 17,93 meters per second. Now, since the table asks for the magnitude, we need to only put the number without the negative. So we'll say therefore Q is equal to 17,93 meters per second. Moving on to question 3.4. The ball bounces to a maximum height of 3 meters after it struck the ground. Is the collision with the ground elastic or inelastic? It is going to be inelastic. And the reason it's going to be inelastic is because the ball does not reach the same height that it did when it was thrown. So the height is not the same as the initial height. So what that means is when the ball hits the ground, some energy is lost. And because some energy is lost, either through sound or through some other thing, the energy then that it has to go up is less. So that's why it's not going to reach the same height. Moving on now to question 3.5. Sketch a velocity versus time graph for the motion of the ball from the time it was projected until it reaches the maximum height after it bounced. So we need to show the initial velocity, the time p, and the velocity q. So just so that we are all on the same page here, I'm just going to sketch out what's happening with the ball. So if that's my building, the ball is going up, it is hitting the ground, it's bouncing, and then it's reaching some height. Now I'm choosing up as positive. So any motion in an upward direction is going to be positive. So this is positive, positive. At the top there, it's 0. Then that's negative, 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 negative. That's positive, positive, positive. Now you'll see why I'm doing it like this, because it's going to make it a bit more easier for us. Now I want to look at drawing my graph. So I'm going to have an x-axis and a y-axis. On my y-axis, I'm going to have velocity, which is in meters per second. And I'm going to have, I need to just make a change here. Let's shift this slightly. So this will be time, and that will be in seconds. Now, the ball is projected upward at a velocity of 15 meters per second initially. So when time was 0, the velocity was positive 15. Remember, we've chosen up as positive. Then when the time was 1,53 seconds, then the velocity was 0. Remember, we solved that in 3.2. Then when the time was 3,36 seconds, the velocity we calculated was negative 17,93. And then the ball is going to bounce at some time, which we don't know, but we know that when it reaches this maximum height, the velocity will be 0. So the velocity will be 0 at some point, at some time. Now, these are actually our coordinates. That is an x coordinate, that is a y coordinate. So when time is 0, the velocity is positive 15. So this is going to be one coordinate. Then when time is 1,53, the velocity is 0. Then when the time is 3,36, the velocity is negative 17,93. So here. And then the ball bounces. Now, as I said before, when it bounces, it's going upward. So this is going to be positive velocity. So let's just join these dots like this. Now, when it bounces, it's going to have a positive velocity, but some velocity, we don't know what it is. So I'm just going to put that point maybe here. And then it's going to go to a velocity of 0. So it's going to go at some time. We don't know that time. We don't need to show it, though I'll just put it here. And so then it's simply going to go like that. And that's the whole question. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.